Veja TV is here in the United Nations in a very special day, a tribute to Oscar Niemeyer. And I have here Professor Paul Goldberger, which gave us a lecture about all this beautiful work that Niemeyer left. So, Professor, what do you have to say about this architect, so modern arts in the late years?
Well, Niemeyer was an amazing figure. There was nobody like him in the world. And he became a symbol of Brazil. And I don't know any other architect who is known throughout the world as a symbol of his country. But people identified Niemeyer with Brazil the way they identify Pelé or something that symbolizes Brazil. So Niemeyer symbolizes Brazil also. And he was a very unusual architect. He was a committed modern architect, but he wanted modernism to be soft and sensual, like sort of Brazilian jazz, sort of soft and easy. And he made the architectural equivalent of Brazilian jazz. And he made so many beautiful things over the years, and just died last year at very close to his 105th birthday. He was 104, almost 105, and it's the most amazing thing because he was healthy almost to the end and kept working till very close to his death. It's a great inspiration that somebody could do such a thing and be so lucky to be able to do such a thing. But he was an extraordinary figure. There was no figure like him, and we're celebrating at the United Nations now because Niemeyer was the last survivor of the group of architects, the international committee that came together to design the United Nations. And so this is commemorating Niemeyer most of all, but it's also commemorating the International Design Board because Niemeyer was its last member to die. And now they're all gone. And it comes at a time when the headquarters of the United Nations is old. It symbolized modern times, but it's now 60 years old. And these buildings are now being restored because they need attention. And so everybody's thinking again about Niemeyer and all those architects because we have to think about what was their vision and how can we fix up these buildings, bring them up to date, make them technologically modern, but still respect the vision of the architects who made them. So Niemeyer is in everybody's mind for that reason also.
Professor, now your opinion as a professional, as a critic.
Yes.
Is there any project that Niemeyer did that you like most and why?
Okay. I love many of the buildings in Brasilia. I don't think Brasilia is very successful as a city, but I think it is full of beautiful buildings that are successful as individual buildings. I think the Itamaraty Palace is one of my favorites anywhere. Also the Planalto Palace and Presidential Palace. There's some just amazing things Niemeyer did there. I also love the big curving apartment house in Sao Paulo, and many of his houses actually, particularly some of the earlier ones. I don't like his late work quite as much. It's wonderful that he was able to keep working throughout his life, although I think the earlier work does seem to have a kind of sharpness and freshness to it that wasn't always present at the end. But he was such a remarkable architect and such a wonderful man that hardly matters. And he also believed so much in social justice. And he was not interested only in buildings as abstract objects. He cared very much for what kind of life went on inside them, and that buildings would help people live a better life, he wanted them. He really cared about all of that very much, and so that's also something we mourn, because many architects do not care enough about the the justice and the social responsibility of their buildings, and he really did.
And also one inspiration for many other architects
Yes.
for nowadays.
Yes, yes. Niemeyer was a great inspiration for so many architects. He was such an enormous figure. The one thing we can say now, though, is that now that he's gone, it may be that many other architects in Brazil will get more attention. Because Niemeyer was so famous that many people around the world thought he was the only architect in Brazil. And in fact, Brazil has many, many other talented architects. And now perhaps some of them will get more attention around the world. So actually, there, even though we're sad to lose Niemeyer, there is one good thing within the sadness, which is that it may make for more attention to some of these other people who are very talented also.
Well, Professor, thank you so very much for this interview.
Thank you very much. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you.